Hey guys. Are you ready to cry? Because I sure am. I don't really have a lot to tell you guys, but buy merch in my description and have a box of tissues nearby just in case you're as emotionally invested in this story as I am. As always, I don't own the characters, and if you have any suggestions, leave them down below. With that being said, on to part 9. I don't know. You literally look so good. It does look super good, Kawa. Sugar walks beside Oikawa where he's frowning at himself in the mirror, throwing an arm around his best friend's shoulder and squeezing. Come on, Oikawa. This is the first date you've been on in a literal year, don't you wanna look nice? Oikawa grimaces, wrinkling his nose. If I'm being honest, I'd rather go in stained pajamas, so he finally leaves me alone. Oikawa cries out when Sugar smacks him roughly on the head before then smacking him on his cheeks with both palms, keeping them there as he forces Oikawa to look down at him. Oikawa, I swear to fucking God. If you do not realize that dipshit does not matter anymore and it's okay to let other people into your heart, I'm going to take my fist, and I'm going to. Excuse me? The boys look over to where a petite girl is standing nearby, face as red as a tomato. Can you please quiet down? People will complain. Sugar lets his hands drop, revealing 2 red handprints on Oikawa's pale cheeks. Sorry, hun. You won't hear another peep from us. The girl hesitates before nodding and walking away. Oikawa lets out an exhale, thinking he's free from Suga's wrath before his best friend turns to him and grabs him by the shirt, bringing him down to his level and smiling sweetly. Oikawa, I swear to God. I will not say this again. Allow people to love you. You deserve it. Besides, I know deep down you're interested in him too. This too cool for love act does not fool me. Oikawa grimaces even more when Sugar reaches up to pat his head, turning to Atsumu. Any help? I'd prefer to live, thank you. 2 hours later. They were all huddled in Suga's car, eating ice cream from a small, round tub. Oikawa had mint chocolate, Atsumu had peanut butter fudge, and Sugar had just plain vanilla with some strawberry flavoring drizzled across it in thin stripes. So, Atsumu? Atsumu's eyes flicker up from his ice cream and up at Oikawa. He lets out a hum, his mouth still wrapped around his spoon. Are you gonna go home tonight, or do you need to stay over again? You can always stay over at my house too. I know I'm more lovable. Knowing you'd scar the poor thing with the activities you and Daichi get up to at night. I think Atsumu would be fine with it. I'd rather not listen to you have sex, Sugar. Ugh, we don't have sex. We practice fencing. It sounds like sex with how much they scream each other's names, but it's just not a pretty sight. Remember the time I accidentally poked Daichi in the eye and we had to take him to the hospital? You're so aggressive for someone who looks like an angel. It wasn't even bad, he was just being a baby. He had to wear an eye patch for 3 months as his little tear healed. Yeah, well, he's fine now, so he can get over it. Anyways. Now that we're over this attention whore's conversation shift. I love your attention, Oikawa. I feel like in another life you and I would be dating. Oikawa gags. Hard pass. Bitch. Oikawa blocks Sugar trying to smack him, laughing. Okay, but no, seriously. Are you gonna go back home, Atsu? Atsumu blinks, and shakes his head. He had zoned out for a minute. I don't know. Well, if you want my opinion. Which he doesn't. Which he does. I would say the sooner you go home and confront your issues, the easier it'll be. But you should only do it if ready and you're free to stay at ours until you are. But you should stay at mine tomorrow night because Oikawa could potentially be getting laid. I'm not doing it with him. Ugh, you're so boring. No flavor. I'll kill you, bitch. I'm already dead inside, boo. Anyways, yeah. I think you should go, but if you don't wanna, it's whatever. Daichi and I can skip 1 night of fencing for you. Sugar will probably make you play house as his child, instead. Oikawa cries when Sugar flings ice cream at him, the white cream landing on the bag of clothes sitting in his lap. Sugar. It could have got on my clothes. I thought you didn't want to look nice for Iwaizumi. Oikawa turns red, turning to Atsumu. I'm so sorry, we keep shifting conversation. Atsumu smiles softly, tracing the edge of his cup with his spoon. It's okay, I think Sugar is right. The sooner I just get this over with, the easier my life will be. Because I am always right. You said you looked nice in those checker pants you tried on from some random emo store. You are not always right. I could break your wrists in 20 different ways. That's how powerful I am. Okay, Sugar. Sugar reaches over, smacking Oikawa straight on the head. Atsumu smiles. When Sugar and Oikawa drop him off, they both offer to come inside with him, but Atsumu just shakes his head. He hated to admit it, but he knew his brother more than people expected him to. If he walked in as if nothing happened, with two of his friends, loudly laughing, it'd probably rip him to shreds inside. On one hand, he wanted to hurt his brother. Make him feel the pain his brother inflicted him for years until high school hit and he just dropped his angsty, nasty attitude altogether, but if he did, that's admitting defeat. He hadn't checked his phone yet. It was fully charged thanks to Oikawa, but he was too scared to face how many notifications were clogging his phone. Atsumu walks up to their door, unlocking it and turning to Sugar and Oikawa, who are worriedly watching him from Suga's car, Suga's eyes soft while Oikawa looks tense. He waves, giving a fake smile, but they both just send him a hand signal telling him to call later. He nods, and then he's finally ducking into his home. Shutting the door silently behind him, he inhales. Their parents had money, and when he meant money, he meant money. Because the minute Osamu and Atsumu were legally allowed to be considered adults, they dipped. They paid for their rent, they sent them allowance, everything they have had saved in the bank the minute their mother becomes pregnant, but they never came to visit. They'd get cards here and there, Osamu and Hinta would try to call, but it was always small talk that lasted for no more than 10 minutes. And maybe people dream of this. Parents that just leave them alone, and pay for everything. But Atsumu currently couldn't handle the silence that meets his ears. Even with no sound, everything is loud, causing his anxiety to spike. Clutching his hands in fists, he walks through the empty living room and to the kitchen. Nobody was there, which meant Osamu, and probably Suna, were upstairs in Osamu's room. Towing his shoes off at the bottom of the stairs, he leaves them there and makes his way upwards. When he reaches the outside of Osamu's closed door, he can hear voices. Baby, I don't mind this. I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. It's okay. I kind of like it, actually. For a moment, Atsumu wrinkles his nose. Were they having sex to make Osamu feel better? It's just, you aren't a cuddly person. I can be, for you. You're perfect. You do everything for me. Because I love you, moron. Love you more. That makes Atsumu smile gently. He remembers once when he was upset over something stupid that had occurred with him and Kita, and he had went straight to SakuAtsu, crying like a baby. SakuAtsu had opened the door with an annoyed look, but the moment he saw Atsumu in tears, he softened. What happened? I don't. And then SakuAtsu was just wrapping him in a hug, one hand curling through the back of his hair while the other kept him presses close to the front of his chest. I don't wanna trigger your germophobia. Don't care. You need this right now. He had cried for a full 5 minutes before he and SakuAtsu had finally gone inside, the two of them just relaxing and messing with each other for the rest of the night to make Atsumu feel better. The memory sends a sharp pain through Atsumu's heart. When had that changed? Atsumu inhales, bringing up his knuckle and knocking on the door twice. Did you? Yeah. It must have been a rat or something. Atsumu rolls his eyes, pressing down on the door handle and letting himself in, pressing his hands to his hips. I know you call me Ratsumu, but I ain't no rat, bitch. Suna and Osamu are on Osamu's bed, Suna sitting up with his back to the wall while Osamu's arms wrap around his waist, pressing his head to the lower part of Suna's stomach. Osamu's eyes are brimmed red, and his cheeks are splotchy as if he had been crying. Upon seeing Atsumu, his eyes widen, but Suna's soft, loving look he had been giving Osamu before the dramatic entrance sours into a bored expression. I can't believe you run off for an entire day and this is how you come back. It fits my character quite well, don't you think? Osamu sits up, Suna protectively wrapping a hand around his boyfriend's waist as he does so. Atsumu, you just do that. I was freaking out for literally 24 hours straight, I didn't know where you were, or. No offense, Osamu. But you never cared in the first place. Osamu's eyes immediately gloss over with tears, and Suna's grip tightens. Atsumu, I didn't mean to interfere with your relationship or make you upset or do anything that hurt you enough to make you run off like that at night. I was just worried about you, Atsumu. Remember in high school? When some guy on the volleyball team purposely spiked into your face, and I punched him. It was like that. SakuAtsu was hurting you, and I wanted to protect you. Atsumu swallows thickly, hating how serious everything suddenly was. Suna was looking at him with a dark expression, clearly not a fan of the situation. Atsumu knew if pushed came to shove, Suna would carry Osamu out of the house and keep him to himself if Atsumu did anything that made him upset. That's just how deep his loyalty ran. And even if he's still confused and hurting, he didn't want that. He knew he still wanted his brother in his life regardless. I don't get it, Samu. Don't get what? Why did you care so much? You're my brother, Atsumu. Atsumu's own tears are welling up, causing him to bite down on his lip roughly and look away from the two. Samu, all you do is talk about how much you hate me. All you do is talk shit about me, and how I was jealous of you. That's new. Atsumu's eyes widen, but stay pinned to a point on the ground. As a kid, you were happy. I didn't get how you were happy, and I wanted you to feel the pain I felt. It was wrong, it was monstrous, and I can't take it back, but I love you, Sumu. You're my brother. I just want to see you happy. Atsumu wraps his arms around him, allowing his tears to spill over. I don't remember the last time you said that. I don't remember the last time anyone's said that to me. Osamu pulls himself from Suna's grasp, his boyfriend watching closely as Osamu gets off the bed and walks over to his desk, where he opens a drawer and pulls something out. Walking over to Atsumu, he presents it in his palm. Is that? Yeah, you made it for me when we were 10 and I said it was dumb, but I still have it. Atsumu, I do love you. You're my brother. I know I broke something in you I can't fix, but I wanna be there for you. I want you to come to my wedding, to be the uncle to my kids, to just be my family. Please. Don't ever leave me again. Both Osamu and Atsumu are full on crying now, steady, hot tears spilling from their eyes. When they finally make eye contact, Atsumu smiles weakly. Okay. I promise I'll never leave you again. Osamu lets out a sound right as Atsumu all but throws himself at his twin, wrapping his arms around him. Osamu's arms go around him, his eyes squeezing shut as he buries his nose in Atsumu's neck. We're the only family we have left, Sumu. And then their sounds are even louder, and from the bed, Suna can't decide what to do. Should he join them? Leave? Instead, he stays silent as he watches his boyfriend hug his twin, the two of them crying. Later he'll make some tea, and act as comedic relief as the tension dies down and they have to awkwardly come to terms with the fact they were so vulnerable with each other. For now, he'll just wait.